Chameleon Sessions will begin at the turn of the hour. Chameleon Sessions will begin at the turn of the hour.
Weekly lesson, shit. All right, man. Now see, now I'm getting too much put to the test, man, because when I fail, and I fail every damn week, you were like, shit, hey, cut these classes off. I don't want any more of this. Miguel, what's up, man? Thank you for joining, bro. But yeah, One No Tricks Point Never, fantastic. His music is just great. Again, this one's called Zones Without People. It's nothing but synths, okay? And I really think that this whole album was made on a Juno 6, I think, is what this album was made off of. We're not gonna cut this, okay? I have a different plan. We're gonna do some throwback and see if we can incorporate these vocals that I was talking about, okay? See, I got 3 minutes. So give me 3 minutes. I'll be right back, all right? Y'all stay with me. I really appreciate you already joining up. This is cool, man. I'm excited for this one because we're going to work on some vocals. I'll be right back. Check, check. Welcome to Sunday Morning Beat Building. This is not where I build a beat. This is episode number 4. This is actually every Sunday I beat myself in the fucking head wondering why I do this every damn week to myself and embarrass myself with a beat and watching this tedious process, and at the end of it you're like, that's it. But I really appreciate everyone that does tune into this. This is an opportunity for me to be able to connect with the world and just kind of put forward, any ideas that I have as far as creating music. There's obviously
Chameleon Sessions will be.
Shut up. There's obviously better ideas out there, and I'm all down for them. So if you have something to one up me, present it to me, okay? I mean it's not about a competition. It could be, but it's not about a competition. It's really about let's learn from each other, man. Let's figure out what we can do to better ourselves as artists, as musicians. And that's the way I see myself as a musician. I'm definitely a musician. I really don't see myself as a producer, even though I am, producing music. But I think that's a little bit of a, I don't know, that's a little bit of a weird label for me, okay? I began playing guitar, actually piano at the beginning, and then I picked up guitar, and that was the end of that. I knew I was going to be when I grew up. And that's not what I am now. But I do love doing music. I love doing music. So today, I had a fantastic question from my boy Robert. He sent me a message asking about how do I do how do I record vocals and sample them without it being just a big problem. Let me see if I can find that and see what the hell he exactly said, if it won't prolong this whole thing. Hang on just one moment. My boy Robert Harris. Oh, and he sent me a dope beat, man. He flipped a Metallica track, and I thought it was pretty good, man. I did listen to it on my way home from work last night, Robert, and I like it, man. It's pretty good. I still can't pick out what the hell that sample is. I must be brain dead or something. But he says, I have a question for you. If I'm working with vocal samples, how do I eliminate music in the background so it just sounds like the vocal? Man, that's a great question. Now, to me, the whole point behind this Chameleon Sessions, one, that's not going to be my artist name whenever I do release these tracks, okay? So I will tell you what it is when I decide what the fuck it's going to be, but it might have to do something tied with Chameleon. But the Chameleon Sessions is where I have now just doing some session work for myself in creating music that I enjoy solely using like hardware. Okay, so whether it be instruments or this machine right here is my favorite. This is fantastic. And then all my keyboards, okay? I'm really trying to get away from the computer. Right now, I have the computer on only to be able to see what people are sending me for messages and if I can respond to anything. But this is not being tied into this whatsoever. I have an audio cable going directly into my iPhone, and that's how you can hear this audio so crystal clear. Of course, I have a fantastic signal chain here, but this is what's going on. So this is all real time. I'm not manipulating anything on this computer, and I'm not using any kind of plugins, okay? So if I want any kind of effect, I need it to come out of here. How the hell am I going to do that? How am I going to make a chorus sound? If I want like a chorus effect, how can I develop a chorus? You know what I'm saying? Or if I want to do a reverb, you know, do I need to use some mic tricks and a sample to be able to produce that, like that reverb sound? Fortunately, I am cheating a lot because I'm using records, right? Well, man, within these records, I mean, behind me, I don't have a very large collection, but I got a pretty good collection. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing, man, is that with vinyl, you have, I mean, how much do you have? You have hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, priceless equipment that's been used to record, and it's all on this damn record, right? I mean, well, not this one particularly, but any of these records, right? You have world-renowned producers, world-renowned artists, musicians that are just phenomenal, way better than I can ever play, right? And you have all this millions of dollars of priceless, legendary equipment on a record, and you sit there and chop it up. So yeah, it's absolutely cheating, but that's okay. I'm making something different out of it. But you have reverb in that stuff. You see what I'm saying? And it's always like a listen before. You know what I'm saying? Hardware for life, for sure. I agree, man. And I have used DAW a lot in my music, okay? So don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm some dude is going to be completely against using computer recording, because now it's kind of flipped. You know, before, people only had this, and they didn't have the DAW, and that was the newest thing. Well, now people have a computer and software because it's way more affordable than having to buy all this stuff. And I get that, okay? If that's what you have, that's what you got. But don't allow it to block your brain from being creative. And so, you know, when you look at whatever it's called, Fruity Loops. It was Fruity Loops back in the day at me, okay? So I'm not knocking it at all. That's what the fuck it was called back in like 99 or 2000 when I was looking into software and stuff, okay? It was called Fruity Loops. I know it's like FL now because they made a terrible decision in naming it Fruity Loops. But now it's FL whatever, okay? I don't know what was the last part of it is. But there's so many fantastic sounds that everyone using there. But that's why a lot of different producers out there have the same damn sound. They're using the same exact thing over and over again. Well, at least with my collection, you know, it's a little different. I do go back and sample a bunch of, you know, drums and everything that are the same sample. But I do that, and it can be the same thing. But that's like if I had a copy of, you know, Isley Brothers, and everybody else does too, and all they have is that one damn drum break, and that's all they ever use. I mean, to me, it's just very irritating. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get off this preaching shit. I'm sorry, man. MPCs are killing DAWs. It's just like vinyl, man. No, I understand, you know, and you're right. And that's the thing, you know, I just talked to Robert Harris about getting an X, right? I have the X on order. And I'm as soon as this is over, like my whole session today on live, I'm probably gonna go in there and cancel this order for this MPCX, because it's a damn computer. It's a computer with 16 pads is what it is, okay? And there's just so much you can do to it, and I understand that, but I really think it's gonna limit my creativity, and I don't want to stop that from happening. Like I've been very happy for this whole year, this year to date, of what I've been coming up with as far as music, okay? And I don't want that to stop. And I really feel like it may stop me and prevent me from doing that. But mostly people aren't getting on here for listening to me preach about computers and stuff, okay? I apologize. If that's all you got, that's all you got, man. Just remember, use this, because this is where the music's coming from. Not none of that shit that you have on that computer. No matter how many software you download or anything, it's all coming from here, man. And you do have to remember that always, okay? So anyway, without further ado, let's embarrass the shit out of myself. Okay, I'm going to erase everything I have on here. I was kind of practicing something here, and I think I know what kind of sample we're going to start off with, okay? Let's see. Anything after the
Chameleon Sessions will begin at the turn of the hour.
I forgot I had that on play. I apologize. We're on, okay? We're not going to turn at the turn of the hour. We're starting right now. No, you're right, man. Anything 2000 XLA and MPC, if you ask me. Mr. Airplane, I can see where you're coming from, man. You know, and... 2500s, 4000s, 5000s, man, they're great. They're great machines. I wish I had one. I really do. But, man, it's all right. Play on whatever you want. It's what comes out. You're right, man. You're absolutely right. It is whatever comes out. My comment was a play on the whole MP3 is killing vinyl, which clearly hasn't. And you're right. And see, that this kind of stuff always happens. There's always some newest and greatest thing. And technology, without a doubt, whether you like it or not, is going to change, and you can either change with it or not. It's just up to you. Okay, just remember that you will receive a consequence for not following it. Okay, there's no other way around it, man. You just can't change what the fuck is going to happen. Okay, and the fact is that computers are here to stay, and it's probably going to eliminate all this shit. And right now, I'm in a very, very happy stage because all this stuff is coming back. Okay, I don't know for how much longer it's going to be. But while it is, I'm going to be a pig in shit. That's all. That's plain and simple. But the fact is, the computer, it will stay, okay? Do not get me wrong. It's going to be here forever from now on when it comes to making music until something else comes out, and then all the people who are on computer like going to be preaching the same exact shit that I am, and the people before me are bitching about because we're not playing instruments, we're doing all that. It's always a cycle, okay? So we just got to get over it. You know what I mean? I know what I feel in my heart of heart, and but that's this is what I like. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the hell up. Let's get to doing some creative stuff here, okay? Thank you so much, everybody. Man, this is really cool. I really enjoy doing this stuff, and I'm glad that there's a very, very minute amount of people in the world that do enjoy doing the same thing that I do and listen to me rant. And I know I have a lot of ADD coming out, and oh well, just deal with it. So here we go. We're going to start off with what did I have here? What did I have in mind? Let me summarize first, okay? I apologize. I'm going to summarize. We're going to build a beat just like we do every Sunday, okay? This is Sunday morning beat building. So let's build a beat first, okay? Then I'm going to get to the question that Robert asked. How do I do vocals with just the vocals? And the truth is that you can't, okay? If you're not using software, and I know there's manipulative stuff that you can do there, the fact is you're not going to. So what you have to do is now think, use your mind. If you're using samplers, okay, and if you want to continue the same type of process that I'm doing, then you have to think first before you start applying all these samples, okay? One of the most important things when it comes to sampling audio vocals on top of whatever else you're doing, and it has music in the background too, is to listen to the music first. You have to think, okay, what kind of frequency range is going on? How many instruments are in there? What's the low frequency range? Okay. Well, typically vocals don't have any low range at all. So why have it in there? All it's going to do is interfere with everything else that you have, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to eliminate all my bass in my vocal, okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So all the low end is out of my voice, right? Do you see what happened? That frequency, that low end range, it's not important. It's not important when it comes to your vocals. This is actually going to boost it up. However, I'm just silent right now. There's nothing behind me. There's no music going on, right? Well, now we got to think, what else is in there? Well, there's all kinds of other shit in there. You got shakers and hi-hats, cymbals out the ass, high-pitched guitars, organs, whatever kind of genre you're in, there's always a broad range. So you really have to think about what frequency, more or less, is this audio vocal, and how can I do it to cut through without it interfering with the rest of my music. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build a beat first, then we're going to add some vocals, and you'll see how it kind of cuts through without using any software whatsoever. All I'm doing is just thinking ahead a little bit and using an EQ before I sample it into my Akai. That's all I'm doing. Okay, so let's get started. Here we go. First things first, let's get 106 point never. Thank you for your service, sir. Someone's flipping me off right now. Sacrilege. I can't believe you didn't wipe your record down before you put it in there. I know. All right, man, sorry. Now, the first thing I want to add is I want to create a melody, right? Oh, first things first. Let's turn this shit off. You're going to hear my samples that I had on here. All right. That's what we're going to sample again. So now I'm going to turn off my MPC. It's off. I love this. I did not save what I just did, okay? So now it's gone completely. I got to start all over again. So whenever you have a whack beat, which happens daily for me, whenever you have one, you can just shut this thing off, turn it back on, and it's a clean slate. It's a clean slate. There's not very much things in the world that you can do that with. This you can. So I'm very happy about that. Now let me grab this record real quick. This is Los Panchos. It's like a greatest hits thing, you know, and it's a great thing to have from my collection. I'm really happy that my wife brought this from Juarez, and I think I'll be there probably at the turn of the later half of the summer, and I'll go digging out there in Juarez, see if I can find anything else interesting. But she did a great job, man. This thing is clean as hell, which is really tough to find in Juarez because it's real dusty, man. There's a lot of wind, and it's a damn desert, right? So you get you can run into a lot of real scratchy records, you know, out there. But man, she picked out a great one. All right, sorry. Yeah, see, I knew this shit. Someone was typing in some stuff, and it wasn't like uploading up real quick. Let's see. All right, here we go. So let's do Los Panchos. Let me see what track I got here. All right, so again, I turned everything off. My MPC is a clean slate. Brand new, fresh slate. It can be a blessing or a curse. But I like pain, and I like to embarrass myself. So I erased everything I just did. And all it was just those this thing we're about to record again. Whew. Sorry about that, guys. Yes. There it is. Now, everything should be for this session, because of my sound card that I have plugged into my phone, is going to be mono. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just sample everything in mono, and if I want to add anything in stereo later, I'll do that. But we're just going to record everything in mono. There's great samples out of these records, these old bunch of records. Damn, it's not triggering, sorry. That's the sample I want. I'm going in here and I'm putting in the name, the date. I always date my samples so that way I know what date it was that I did that on. And then also I kind of put it like an abbreviation of whatever I sampled so I can just remember, okay? And I always name it differently instead of just immediately, you know, recording sound 1, sound 2, sound 3. Because if I do that the next day and I do the same exact saving, which is sound 1, sound 2, I can accidentally hit where I replace those sounds, and now all my samples that I did from those other songs are messed up. So it's definitely important if you have one of these XLs. And I don't know how a regular 2000 is, or a 25 or a 4000 is, but this XL, for me, it's really important that I do that because I can just jack everything up. All right, let's listen to the sample again. We're going to keep that, but we're going to cut it up. So now I need to go in there and trim all the fat. Yes, you guys are subjugated to this long-ass, tedious, boring-ass process. And I appreciate you sticking around for that. That's too short. Hey, thanks, man. Man, y'all the shit, man, for real. I really appreciate you guys. And thank you, man. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate it, bro. Thank you so much for joining up with me today. Yes, sir. I think that's what I need. I'm going to go ahead and move it over just a little bit so it'll sound like off, but I want to be able to have it zoom in, because on this MPC, the longer the sample, the smaller, the zoom out it looks to me, like as far as an audio wave. So whenever I chop it down, it'll start getting a little bit larger, but this is a pretty long sample. Do it. So now this is going to be 2 different sets of samples before I chop it, okay? My thinking is this beginning part. That's it. So I'm going to open my window and copy this whole sample, and then I'll trim whatever else I need out. But the first things first is I want that beginning part. So I'm going to cut that down. I want that. Okay, so I'm keeping that. That's all there is on that one sound now. So now I got to go in here and trim the beginning part out. And what I want is the very beginning where that rhythm starts. That right there. I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be... Damn. Okay. What I'm thinking in my mind is how this is gonna turn out. Like, again, when it comes to like these older samplers and everything, you gotta kind of think ahead of how this is going to be. Now, obviously, I can't predict everything that's going to happen in the future. I'm not that talented. There's only a few people in this world that can actually legitimately do it. Okay, a lot of people can say they do it, and they're full of shit. Okay, I don't care what they say. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and go into zone and see what this sounds like in a 16 zone chop. Okay, and so I'm gonna play these notes individually. Okay, I think I know what's throwing it off a little bit. I'm going to go back in there and go back into my trim portion of my Akai and trim that. There's a last tiny little bit that's in there. If I just trim it down a little bit, I think I'll have a little bit more of a closer, precision as far as my 16 sample chop. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and assign this all to pads. Again, end margin. I'm going to go ahead and create a new program since there's nothing on this. In an Excel, it'll ask you if you want to create a new program. What that means is it'll automatically take your however many slices that you have in there as far as your zone, and it'll automatically assign it to pads. But when you do that, if you already have something on here, it will erase everything you have as far as on your pads, not the sounds. Your sounds will still be loaded in here, but whatever you had those sounds assigned to pads will be gone, and you'll just have whatever you just said yes to. So you have to be mindful of that. I just want to be able to do that right now on this first one. There it is. I think this is all right for the most part. Okay, now, you know what I need to start doing? There's got to be some way I can open up a template to where I can just open up, yeah, I'm going to save like a program where it doesn't have any sounds on it or anything, but all it's going to do is take every fucking pad off of poly, okay? Because, man, I complain about poly mode on my pads every week. So how about I just do something about it? And y'all let me know if you can hear the music or if my volume, like my vocals, is too loud. Of course, we haven't even started into the actual beat, okay? So, but y'all let me know if the audio, you can't really tell what the sample is because my vocal is too loud, and I'll adjust that, okay? I appreciate y'all. I'm messing around with these pads to see if what kind of melody. I already had a melody in mind. I'm just going to see if there's something else, okay? All right, great, man. Thank you, Keith. I appreciate it. Hey, that's good, man. That's good. I appreciate that. Thank you, Keith. Some of these have a little snip at the end of it, and to me it's a little irritating. I'm going to go ahead and eliminate some of these. You hear that little tiny little, like a little mouse? To me it's a little, before I start messing with that, I'm going to go ahead and tune down. Again, my default, 40, 30, 20 sometimes. So I'm going ahead and drop down by 30 values these samples. So I'm going to -30 on my MPC. Okay, that part was a little. Hey, thanks, man. Let's see how this thing turns out, man. For all I know, it's gonna be whack as shit at the end, but I like that. That vibe to me sounds right. Let's see what it sounds like a little lower. Okay, let's go one more down. Keith is saying, hey, it sounds like a Cypress Hill vibe. All right, well, let's tune it down like Cypress Hill shit. See what it sounds like. If I like that or the 30, because I have to play it slower, and I really don't know what. I guess we need to look at the speed. You know what I mean, the tempo. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and record just a quick simple pattern real quick, just to see if I can change it, if I slow it down and drop it 10 values, if it sounds any better to me or if it sounds too slow. So let's see here. Let's start at 150 and see how fast that is. Yeah, that's way too damn slow to me. 175. That's probably right. Now let me just drop it down 10 values, see what that sounds like right quick. Oops. That actually sounded dope. I can change that in a minute. It's got more of a swing, right? To me it sounds like another swing. This is 165 BPM. A little slow. To me, it's like sluggish as shit. Uh, 175. It's got the swing. You hear it? Maybe we should get a bass line going first. I need a melody. It needs more than just that. Fuck, that's I like it. I like the way that sounds, but I don't. It needs something else, man. And that's 40 values. Let me go back to 30. What the fuck? To me, it sounds a little bit more like, I don't know. What do y'all think? Y'all like 40 or 30? Because to me, 30 sounds better to me. It just allows me to like have a little bit more of a swing to it, you know, whenever it turns around. How the fuck? This is a habit from when you were a kid. A kid in middle school, sitting there beating on your damn desk. Teachers yelling at you to stop that shit, and it stuck with you. And I'm 36. Okay, all right. It's got to have more than just that, though, man. I think we're going to try and do this turnaround like where it's a second half of it. I had one that was on here was higher. That might work. Ooh. I don't like how it turns around from there. Those are two fancy diddles that they won't go in there right. There it is. All right. Okay. Let's erase this shit. So on track 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. No, I don't want to do that. Oh, I only got 4 bars right there. Then you go 8. Damn. Sounds too slow, like a slow. Maybe I need to trim some shit on that. That don't sound right to me. I'm going back in there and cutting out some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? She told me to stop drumming on the desk, and I replied, I can't. I got rhythm in my song. I bet it didn't go down too well, huh? Hey, what's up? Hey, is it Paltrow? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate you coming in. I appreciate you just checking in and checking this out, man. We're going to make a beat, and then we're going to go into the question that was asked me a couple days ago of how I incorporate vocals without it like interfering with my beat, okay? And I'm not using any software, so that's what we're doing. We're building a beat first, coming up with an idea. We're going to lay down a little shitty-ass beat, and then we're going to add some vocals to it. But, of course, they're from records, so it's got all kinds of other music in it. So how do I eliminate that other, background noise? So that's what we're doing right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate the tune-in, guys. Really do, man. All right, where was I at? Oh, yeah, I'm cutting that shitty-ass sample because it sounded a little too sluggish. That's more on point right there. Again, the original sample, just a recap. But I tuned it down, so this is already tuned down, right? Yeah. That's how high the original sample is. So now I've developed so far some type of melody. Oh, damn. No, hang on. It sounds like Tally when he's trying to play the guitar. Oh, wait, hang on. But, man, I'm not high, okay? And if I was high, I couldn't even do shit, okay? So I that's why I don't smoke. I don't do any kind of drugs because I'm already bad enough as it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't like that. I don't like... Something's up with this sound right here. It's like too slow. This sounds right. Maybe it's this one. Let's try that. See how it sounds a little sluggish there? It might be all right though. It might be all right. If I'm making droopy sounds, I'm trying to think of some bass lines. Hey, but this is the process I do, man. Not holding anything back. I ain't embarrassed as shit. So if I sound goofy, it's because I am. Okay, that's just, there's no other way around it. Okay, and for you motherfuckers making beats too, you goofy as hell too. Don't even hide it. I think it's about time for a bass line, man. I think. I think we're gonna use I can't go wrong with speaker buzz. So let's start that off. All right, I'm gonna sample. I said speaker buzz. I meant cable buzz to make a bass line. That's what I'm doing right now. So now I'm going into my MPC. Hear that nasty shit? It's great. I got headphones on, so whatever's making my ears kind of rattle, that's the phase that I want out of this, because as I'm touching around this tip, it's producing a different type of bass sound if you haven't noticed. You hear that? That right there, this point right here sounds the fullest to me. Right there. Oh shit. There it is. Might be too noisy though. It might be too noisy. Don't worry, it'll sound musical in just a moment. Okay, I need to change that since this is not Los Panchos. This is bass. This is bass. So I'm going to change my name to bass. There's the original samples. Oh shit, I haven't even used that part yet, have I? That secret buzzy sauce, that's right. Motherfucker, man, are you serious? Alright. Damn, man, I did it again. You see why I don't do drugs? I'd be worthless, man. I didn't hit save, so my secret sauce is still within the confines of this cable, man. We're gonna do it again. All right. Keep. All right, so you know, it sounds like for this melody, I don't think I'm going to use any of these other pads. So I might erase some of those samples just to have some name, you know what I'm saying? James Bond theme work. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and just thank you now, Airplane, Mr. Airplane. I think that's a fantastic idea. All right, so I'm going to... There's just so many pads that, well, I mean, I still got 3 banks, but I don't want to be wasteful. What I'm thinking in my head and what I'm debating right now is if I want to erase some of these sounds. I only need certain ones, right, for this line, and I really don't want to add any more because I think it'll sound, there's just already too much little jumpy little, you know, guitars going on. So I don't know if I want anything else in there. Yeah, I think we should add some different elements. So let's go ahead and I'm going to erase those. Those are going off. So I'm going to erase everything on these pads, and I'm going to do a new assignment. I just got to remember which ones they are. If I did this right, then I can use my names accordingly. Fuck. It'll be easy to assign these to the pads. All right, so that's 2. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these out. So all these are I'm just taking those samples and unassigning them, and I'm gonna make them an easier format, and that way I can kind of consolidate my pads, my sounds with my pads, so I have plenty more pads because we got a lot more to do, right? So you gotta kind of think ahead of what you're doing as best you can. Oh, no, I don't need that one. There it is. Okay, so then it was a pad up. So if that's 5, it's 4 over, so this should be number 9. Yep. And then this one was what? 12. So that should be 13. That was the last one. And then this one was 10. Sorry, bear with me, y'all. See how much easier that is to play instead of like jumping up and down. But I can consolidate it now. So now it's just all nice and neat. I'm going to go ahead and put this beginning one. Let's see if I can put that in there somewhere. Alright, so let's play this, record this pattern again, and then we'll get into putting the bass line adding a bass line in there, and then from there I can kind of think of what kind of sounds I want for my beat, for my drum beats, okay? No, motherfucker, no! Damn, man. What did I do wrong? Hit that button. Man, let me just erase that bitch. We don't need it right now. Redo that. Damn it, man. One more time. Let's assign the bass to this pad. Ooh. Ooh. Very long. Note off. All right, so now we're going to adjust the pitch. You hear that bass? Ooh. And I can even have a nasty, musty, crusty, and deep. So now I'm going to go to 16. I'm going to do this one differently. Before I would assign like different pads with the same sound and then change the pitch from there. I think I'm going to go ahead and do a 16 level this pad for note variation. And I'm going to set that to 8. So that way it's in the middle. So that sound is going to be on this pad. That gives me plenty of low and plenty of high. So that way, see if I can, you know. Ooh. All right. Thumbs up on that pitch. That cuts through like crazy. I really want this higher one though to cut. That's all it took. It really cuts out the Rick Alvarez, thank you, man, for tuning in. Here's what we're doing, man. We took Los Panchos, okay? Some old school, you know, just some Mexican kind of, to me it's not mariachi. It's not mariachi music at all. It's just like old school vibey. You heard Los Panchos. Just look up Los Panchos, but that's what we're flipping right now, okay? And we had a question from Robert. Robert Harris sent me a question of how I sample vocals onto a beat without it interfering with the rest of the beat, since there's music in that background. So we're going to build a beat using los panchos, and then we're going to add vocals to this beat and let it cut through without using any software. We're just sampling onto that shit and dumping it all onto this Akai and letting those vocals cut through, okay, without having to use any software. So that's what we're doing today, man. It's 2. See, I want that. That don't sound right. Yeah, it does. It's real right. But I think once I get those the drums in there, I think it'll really like hit it, like let it, you know, kick and let it hit. Am I having pitch problems, y'all? This little motherfucker. All right, that's getting irritating. So we need to add some more elements to this beat, okay? So let's go ahead and move forward. We got a bass sound. We're going to be able to carve it and make it sound right. Right now, to me, it doesn't, but I'm not going to spend the time on it right now. What we need is add more elements. So we're going to go with, well, we need kick and drum. Let me listen to this real quick. I think like a swing hat would work. So I'm probably going to use the same type of hi-hat sample that I typically do for that swing. Okay. Chop a break. Drums, yes, I know, I agree, man, for sure. We're chopping it up right now, okay? So this is gonna be a break. This is one that I just love this damn beat so much, but it's really got the hi-hat in. That's what I'm really after. We're gonna add elements to that too, okay? I won't use this again after this. There we go again. Mr. Airplane. Yeah, that's what I do, man. I'm over here trying to decide whether I want to use, you know, New Kids, that new Bieber I got. It's so hard to decide, you know what I'm saying? Listen to that hum, that nasty buzz. Where my shit sit to? You know, that's the way it's set the way I want it. Of course, you're not gonna be able to hear it once it plays. Yes. Y'all gonna get so tired of this. This will be the last time I ever use this one. Here. Retry. Only want it for this hi-hat. There'll probably be an element into there too. I like that roll. I've never used that roll before. I'm gonna figure a way to use it. I don't know if the signal's strong enough, man. I might have to redo this and have just a heavier signal. Yeah, I'm gonna do this again. I'm gonna erase this one. I'm going to boost the signal even more than what it is right now. Only because I want it to be able to cut through well. Hang on. They're hi-hats. Hi-hats can get annoying as shit. I already erased it. Fuck. Did I? Yeah, sure did. Oh well, might as well do what I had planned anyway. Just in case I wanted to incorporate the more of the kick and the drum. But I want more. I want different kicks and drums. I'm gonna take the whole break. Motherfucker, the fuck's wrong with me, man? This is not. Save this name. Keep. No. Alright, so I'm going to have to copy and paste this one. I'm going to make two different... I don't need all that shit. I don't need much of this, really. That's all I need. Fuck, I don't need all that. Well, this one's slow putting together, isn't it? Shit, it's already been an hour. Took me a minute to figure out a melody, I guess, for that, Yeah, I'm sure I've talked about this on my Chameleon theory before. But whenever I'm chopping a break, okay, what I'm thinking is how I'm going to assign it to the pad. So before I start chopping it up, I actually play along with it with the pads to see what it's like. See, it's not long enough. I think it's right there. This first sound, drum roll. I want that drum roll, but I'm not going to keep it into this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start counting on the pads after that drum roll. So it's that first kick. That's it. That's perfect. That's all I need. So now I'm going to copy this onto another. I'm going to copy it. I'm making another sound sample. And now the first one is only going to be that drum roll. The second one is going to be the actual break. And then from that second one, I'm going to chop that break. But I like this roll, man. I need to figure out how to put it into this beat. Keep it. There it goes. Okay, so now we're going to chop that. So now we're going to go to the zone, and I'm going to open it up, and I only want 8 chops, only 8 zones. And let's see what that sounds like. Pretty much perfect. Too perfect. Kind of irritates me. Fuck it, let's do it. Running out of time. If I had, or if I was not doing this live, I would actually go in there and redo this sample and purposely make it a little bit more off time. This is way too precise for most of my taste, and you probably can't even hear the difference, but it's just what I like to do. Do I have anything on these? I do have that bass line. All right, so I'll go into pad B. Yeah, I'll put my break there. Man, if y'all got any questions to help out this silence while I'm doing this kind of shit, give me some kind of talking point, man, if y'all have a question on whatever the hell I'm doing. That's all I want. And it's mainly for that hi-hat, so we're probably going to take down the initial snare and kicks. It'll be in there for nuance for this whatever other kick and snares I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I am going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and just dump that down. I'm going to put that in a second track. And then we're going to go into sampling some more. I want some grittier, kick and snares for this. Sound right. Alright, so let's bring these drums down. Because again, I just want the nuance of the hi-hat. I really like the swing of that. right, so now I'm gonna pick something else out to add because it needs a lot more, of course. Sound right to me. Okay, let me get some drums going now, or a kick and snare. Man, I would imagine that AC/DC got some gritty ass drums. I've never sampled AC/DC before, and I have an original pressing of Back in Black. So we're gonna try that and see what this. Man, surely he's got some gritty ass drums. All right. I'm about to get flagged for this fucking song. God dang it. Didn't even think about that. What the fuck is happening? What the fuck? Wow, man. Stand by. shit. There's a lot of reverb in that damn snare. I never even thought of that. Never thought in a million years that there would be a lot of snare like that. I just never paid attention to AC/DC before, man. As far as when it comes to that music. Man, it's got a lot of reverb. Little snippet, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep it. See if we can come up with something on these drums. Any of that guitar in there. All I want is just that. It's a very, very reverby snare. Wow. I'm actually surprised, man. I don't know why. I've heard this song a trillion times. I just never thought there would be so much reverb into this. But it's got what I need. So now I'm going to partition this. I want these 4 sounds separately. So I'm going to assign these zones. I'm going to open up my zone in my MPC. I'm going to assign 4 zones. So from these 4 zones, I can chop what I want. There's an hi-hat in here too, so I can use it if I needed it. Okay, so where's my break? Okay, so we'll keep doing the same thing here. I'm going to assign all my drums onto pad bank B. Pad bank A has got my and then my bass, and I can add whatever other elements I want onto these pad banks. This has got an 8-step break, and I'm going to add the AC/DC drums now. God, that reverb, I don't like it. I'm going to cut the shit out of that. I do not like the way that sounds. I like that kick though. It's got a click to it at the end. We'll have to shorten that. Boost this. We're going to copy it a second time. So that's 3. So I'll have 2 kicks of the same, 2 of the same kick on each different pads, and I'll make them a different sound. What I typically like to do. Oof. And then I'm going to take both of these sounds and mesh them together onto that one pad. So I have one by itself, and that's just more of the accent kick before the main kick, which is what I typically like to do. So, okay, sound, note 59, simultaneous, type in 59. That's about right. Now let's fuck with this kick, or snare. Now snares, whenever I'm creating an actual snare hit for like hip hop music, I do like to use a lot more than just 2 snares. I like to incorporate. So I'm probably going to add, I'm thinking maybe some claps would sound right with this too, along with a heavy hip-hop snare. We'll get into that in a second. And then we'll finally get into the damn vocals. Good Lord. What time is it? Ooh, my Lanta. All right. Reverb too much. I'm disappointed in AC/DC. Even though I'm biting off their shit, sampling their stuff, I'm still disappointed in them. Snare, we gotta work on this snare. I just added that element to there, so now I have them in 3 different tracks. I can go in there and separate them all as I'm like, whenever my beat is complete, I can go in there and add different elements to it, like just to make the beat sound as a different element as what everybody else does. What is it? It's this frequency level. First don't sound right. This swing sounds not right. Yep, I was right. This might sound better. I want to turn down this, I think the no variation crossfaders break. Yeah, man, you're right, for real, man. And damn, man, this thing, it broke a long ass time ago. Yeah, I think it sounds a little bit more. This happened a long ass time ago. Okay, let's get to some audio vocals now. So we're gonna listen to old what's her name? Yeah, Joni James for some just for some short audio samples of her voice. Okay.
Remind me of you.
Now, the first thing I'm already noticing about the samples or just the record itself, you can definitely tell all this low end is gonna interfere with your beat, right? You hear that? And listen to this audio. So that's the first thing to think of. I gotta cut out that low end. That's the first thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Second thing I hear is clicks that I can't change because this record is scratched up. That might be something I just have to live with, and it may not work. May not work with my beat. I don't know. We're gonna A and B them. Here we go. The vocals. You see how hers is like, there's a lot of mid in there? That's gonna work for my audio sample with this beat because there's not a lot of mid in the beat already. Oh yeah, she'll cut through like a knife, man. That's the main key behind this whole thing. Is that every other sound I've already done, I just cut down the low completely, okay, on this record. There's some highs, there's some mids. But if I cut out the lows, then that's where a lot of the interference of your beat is going to happen. See what I'm saying? Let's get to some audio vocals.
People stop and stare. It's so hard to bear.
Clicks.
Everybody knows you left me. It's the talk of the town. Every time we meet, my heart skips a beat. We don't stop to speak.
I'm keeping all this.
Though it's just a week. Everybody knows you left me. It's the talk of the town. Invitation.
There's a lot of clicks in this, but I love clicks. I like shitty sounding audio like that. It just, to me, it adds a different element to your beat, you know what I mean? Because everything doesn't have to be just all precise and pretty sounding and shit, you know? Sounds horrible.
Send out invitations to friends in our relations.
Now, the tough thing is all those strings in the background. The good news is that whenever you are listening to some, it depends on what key it is. You know, if it's a minor, like my music really right now is minor, right? And we're in a minor key when it comes to this beat. Well, if you can manipulate the sound, you're going to have to bring it into like pitch anyway afterwards. it's going to help out with the rest of your song as long as it goes in with it. So sometimes those strings in the background can actually go in well. It's not that hard to blend this kind of audio into your beat.
Announcing our wedding day. Friends and our relations gave congratulations. How can you face them? What can you say? Let's make up, sweetheart. We can't stay apart. Don't let foolish pride keep you from my side. How can love like ours be ended? It's the talk of the town. Gave congratulations. How can you face them? Our wedding day.
Okay, I think I have enough audio samples of this vocal to be able to maybe come up with something melodic or something rhythmic with my beat here. Okay, so we're gonna put this together now. This might. Now these processes, man, they're tedious. I mean, you're gonna have to go through it, pick out what you want. That click, not gonna work out. Damn it. We'll get to that one in a minute. I got a long audio sample of that.
My heart skips a beat. My heart skips a my heart skips a beat. 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 My heart skips a beat.
Now again, when you're going in here and you're doing audio samples that you're adding to your beat, you need to listen to the frequency range, right? Because this had a lot of low end. This old school, it's got the stand-up bass and the piano. There's a lot of interference with what this would be. So there's a lot of frequency level that goes in with that. You know what I'm saying? So the stand-up bass is really going to interfere with that. So what I did was I cut it out. I took out all the bass, and I have a mixer. My turntable is going into a small little mixer, and that mixer is going out into the ends of this Akai. So I'm rolling off all the bass, all the low end that was into that audio sample. So really all that's cutting through is mid. And if you notice that this beat, it naturally came out where there's hardly any mid. Not as much high and as low. So that mid is a good medium for your audio. You just have to listen to the way your beat is coming out. And then you can fit that audio sample in there, and I'm telling you, it's going to cut through better than without being prepared and listening to the way these audio samples are coming out. This bitch on poly. Oh yes, I don't want to even hear her on poly. So I'm going to go ahead and put my pad set to mono instead of poly. Won't take but 2, 1, 2. There. All right, so now I'm going to assign just one of those. I want to see what that sound sounds like. And what was it? 7. Well, hell, I already got. And then, you know, I'm thinking. you know what? This might be a good time to do the to where you cut it. Now, how am I going to do that, Randy, without my note variation slider? I got a little tiny screwdriver that I'll use for that. I got to get this slider fixed, man. I might mess with that. So let's keep assigning some. Let's go through these audio samples. I gotta find something better than that.
Friends in our relation, friends in our relation. Give congratulations. Our relation. How can you face them? How can you face them? What can you say?
And this is not the samples I needed. I think it's somewhere here.
Friends in our relation. It's the talk of the town. My heart skips a beat. To friends in our relation. Out sing our wedding day. Out sing our wedding day. 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 Our wedding. How can you my heart our wedding day. My heart skips a beat. Our wedding day. My heart friends in our relation day. How can you face them? Our relation. Friends in our relation. My heart.
But do you see how you got the crackle in there? There's nothing I can avoid about that. I mean, I can really roll off the high end if I wanted to, but I think it's really going to kill some of that nuance, behind this beat. But I think this would actually sound good if I mimicked like a record scratching, right? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mess with this for a second, and then I'm probably gonna like manipulate like a record scratching with my pads on my MPC. But you see how this audio vocal is like it's cutting through. It's cutting through pretty well. That's all I do. I cut out the low end. I add some mid to it if I need to, or some high to it if I need to. But it's just all preparation and planning That's all it takes. You don't need no damn software. You just gotta think of what you're gonna do when you're making a beat. It needs to be turned up a little bit more, so that way it has more of a like a cutting effect. You know what I mean? So all I've done. I got no damn slider on my MPC, so I'm using a fucking screwdriver. You see how these vocals are cutting through just fine, and you really don't interfere with the music. With just one damn finger. If you can just do two right there. If I had a fucking slider, maybe I could think of a more creative way to do this. So, man, that's how I do it, man. That's how I get, audio tracks to cut through is I listen first, then I plan ahead and turn like whatever's going to interfere with my beat. As what I noticed with this is like that the vocals had a lot of low end, and if I were to sample that vocal with all that low end, it would really interfere with the beat. So all I did is roll that shit down. I just took the bass all the way down on the sample of the audio, and it really allows more of mid-range to breathe, which this beat actually lacks. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. I think I can build off of this beat, man. I think I can do pretty well with this beat. I'm gonna mess with it some more later on, man. But dude, I've been doing this for 2 hours. Golly. Well, this one took forever, didn't it? From actual scratches as the record goes around. No, I understand, man. And the clicks, the crackle, surface noise. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy. I love the way this shit sounds too, man. I just like the way the little crackles and everything, you know. Anyway, that's fun. That's fun to do. I can sit here and do that damn job. I can do that all day. That's fun. All right, man. I think it's been a wrap. That's a pretty good beat. I'm gonna save this one. I can mess with it later on. To me, it sounds a little too, I don't know, just like a little bouncy and shit. So I want to kind of get away from that. I think it needs to be a little bit more gritty. I think the stops. I don't know. The stops need to be more pronounced. But anyway, thank you everybody that tuned in to Sunday Morning Beat Building. It's been fun doing these, man. I've had a lot of fun doing it. So I hope everybody enjoyed this as much as they possibly could with me and my ADD ass. But I do appreciate everyone's interest in watching this kind of shit. So man, thank you guys very much. I think it's been a wrap, man. Anyhow, thank you very much. Sunday Morning Beat Buildings. I'll probably have to plan this out a little bit better to where I can consolidate to an hour, man. Because this 2 hours, man, shit, I wouldn't be watching this shit at all. I'd be, dude, thank you. Appreciate you doing whatever the hell it is you think you're doing. But yeah, all right. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't. But man, anyhow, I do appreciate you guys, checking out this shit. Reminds me of Jedi mind tricks. Hey, Brand, thank you, man. See, I couldn't see all this shit. I couldn't see y'all putting all these messages and stuff, man. I thought y'all motherfuckers just left. Like, fuck this guy. It takes too damn long. But yeah, I think bringing it down to like 1 hour or something, I think that'd be better. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, hey, Sunday morning beat building. Deuces. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate it. Hope y'all enjoyed this beat making sesh. I gotta do this one more time. This is too damn fun. This is like kid in the playground. Hey, thank you guys. I really appreciate it, man. Deuces. Have a great one, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all. Bye.